6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, look at the headlines. The International Buddhist Convention of European countries will begin in Australia on Friday. Evaluation of the GC Advanced Level answer scripts to be expedited from tomorrow. The Disaster Management Centre says at least 9,000 individuals in 11 districts have been affected due to the adverse weather. Today is the 6th day of the National Vesak Week. The Parliament will meet from the 9th to the 11th of May. In news overseas, Charles and Camilla crowned in historic coronation celebrations. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. The International Buddhist Convention of European countries will be held from the 12th to the 14th of May in Vienna, Austria. Incumbent of Sri Lanka Rame in Germany, Venerable Ratmale Punyanaratnathera says that hundreds of bhikkhus and intellectuals representing European and Asian countries such as Italy, France, Greece, Austria, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, China, Japan and several other countries will take part in this convention, which is going to be held for the first time. It has been scheduled to deliver several exclusive lectures by veteran personnel in various fields at the convention, aiming to convey the true picture of Buddhism to the world. The convention will open on Thursday with the participation of 65 Buddhist monks and several intellectuals who represent both European and Asian countries. Accordingly, 500 Buddhist monks will attend the convention from European countries, while around 50 Buddhist monks will represent Asian countries. The Department of Examination says that the evaluation of the 2022 GC Advanced Level Examination answer scripts will be expedited from tomorrow. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said the evaluation of the answer sheets of the subjects that have not been evaluated yet will be started in 10 more centres across the country tomorrow. He said this step will be taken by expediting the process of evaluation of the answer sheets of some subjects that has already been started. The evaluation of the 2022 GC Advanced Level Examination answer scripts of some subjects has already commenced despite the strike by the university lecturers. Accordingly, the second phase of the Advanced Level answer sheet evaluation activities will start on the 24th of April, will be started tomorrow. The Disaster Management Centre says that at least 9,000 individuals belonging to 2,000 families in 11 districts across the island have been affected due to the adverse weather situation for the last 2 days. The centre stresses that it is prepared for rescue and salvation operations around the clock in any emergency situation. Members of the armed forces and relief workers are ready for this purpose. Many parts across the country have been receiving heavy rainfalls in recent days. Incidents of flash floods were reported from several areas in the Kampha districts owing to heavy deluge. The Disaster Management Centre stated that steps were taken to evacuate the residents from flood-affected areas of Katanam, Rabavatta and Gomaswatta in the Kampha district. Affected communities were provided with essentials including food with the help of military personnel. Issuing this situation report, the DMC mentioned that 9,272 individuals of 2,249 families across 11 districts have been affected. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The government hopes to complete the integration of 3 main government revenue collection agencies which are not well coordinated at present with the Treasury through the information system by the year 2026. Accordingly, the government aims to integrate the Inland Revenue Department, the Sri Lanka Customs and the Excise Department with the Treasury through the information technology system to increase the government's tax revenue and to make the system better managed. Efforts are being made to improve the IT system of the Sri Lanka Customs Department. Even now, the Excise Department does not have a formal digitalized IT system. Therefore, the Treasury is taking steps to establish this system soon. In this way, the information technology system of all the 3 government tax revenue collection agencies will be improved and integrated with the integrated Treasury Management Information System. The Minister of Finance says that this digitization improvement is being done with the aim of achieving the medium-term goals of the public finance sector to increase the revenue to 11% of the GDP in the year 2023, 13.3% in 2024, and 14.9% in the year 2025, respectively. Today is the 6th day of the National Vesak Week declared by the government. Vesak is celebrated on a grand scale in many parts of the country today as well. Many Buddhist religious activities will be carried out in Buddhist temples and Buddhist centers. Thousands of devotees are participating in many Buddhist rituals in the major Buddhist places of worship. Our correspondents say that large crowds of devotees were present in Anuradhapura Attamastana and Polonnaru ancient city premises yesterday as well. Meanwhile, the Buddha Rashmi Vesak zone is in place in Golf's Shangri-La Green premises. Many pandals and Vesak zones are seen in many parts of the country, including Colombo, Jaffna and Kandy districts. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The International Buddhist Convention of the European countries will begin in Austria on Friday. The evaluation of the GC advanced level answer scripts to be expedited from tomorrow. The Disaster Management Center says at least 9,000 individuals in 11 districts have been affected due to the adverse weather. Today is the 6th day of the National Vesak Week. The Parliament will meet from the 9th to the 11th of May. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, Secretary General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayake says Parliament will meet from the 9th to the 11th of May. Mr. Dasanayake said that an hour from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. has been allocated for oral questions on the 9th of May. The Parliament Business Committee has decided to hold the adjournment debate on the MV Express Pearl disaster on the 10th of May and the debate on the second reading of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka Bill on the 11th of May. These decisions have been taken at the Parliament Business Committee meeting held on the 28th of April under the patronage of Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Washington this morning, the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, under the special program initiated recently, urged school children and the younger generation in the country to take a bold decision to stop consuming dangerous drugs to coincide with the Vesak festival. NDDCB Chairman Chakya Nanayakara said that 40,000 people of all ages in Sri Lanka die each year due to the usage of dangerous intoxicated drugs. Nearly 100,000 people, including children in the country, are currently addicted to heroin, while over 300,000 people are addicted to ganja and ice. Therefore, he made a request from the elders to refrain from dangerous drugs from Vesak Day and to set an example to children also follow suit. That came to you in Watchlight, and now let's move on to the headlines of the world news. Charles and Camilla crowned in historic coronation celebrations. Death toll rises over 170 after DR Congo floods. The police arrest a man for opening stores selling hard drugs in Canada. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. The King and Queen waved at crowds and watched a fly past at Buckingham Palace balcony following a day of coronation celebrations. They were joined by senior royals, including the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children, but Prince Harry was notably missing. Earlier, the King and the Queen were crowned in a ceremony full of pageantry and symbolism. About 2,000 individuals, including the royal family, celebrities, faith leaders and heads of state, were there to witness the event. The authorities in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo say the number of individuals known to have died in severe flooding and mudslides has risen to 176. The governor of South Kivu province said more people were still missing, feared buried under the mud. At least 2 villages, Lake by Kivu, Bashu and Nikumbi, were submerged when the rivers of the Eastern Congo burst their banks. There were also severe mudslides that destroyed homes made of wooden planks with corrugated iron roofs. Rescue teams say there are piles of bodies in muddy clothing. A Canadian has been arrested in British Columbia after opening a mobile shop to sell cocaine, heroin and other hard drugs. Jerry Martin, age 51, has said he plans to challenge his arrest in court, arguing containment contaminated drug supplies cause harm. Vancouver police said it arrested a man for drug trafficking in connection with an illicit drug dispensary but have not laid formal charges. The arrest on Thursday came one day after Mr. Martin opened his shop. And that was the world news.
Development news.
Minister of Tourism Harim Fernando says that Sri Lanka is aiming to attract 2 million Indian tourists this year. Sri Lanka is experiencing a significant rise in tourist arrivals, particularly from India, which has now secured the top spot. In the first 3 months of the year 2023, we welcomed 46,432 Indian tourists, he said. This increase in visitors has had a positive impact on tourism earnings, with Sri Lanka earning around $530 million in the first quarter of the year 2023 compared to $482.3 million in the same period last year. That was the development news, and now let's move on to sports news. Andy Murray will play Tommy Paul on the final of the ATP Challenger event after defeating Harold Mayotte in straight sets. Murray, who took the late wildcard entry, won the semi-finals 7-5, 6-1 against 21-year-old Mayotte and the fourth consecutive French player he faced. In doing so, Britain's three-time Grand Slam champion guaranteed a return to the top 50 of the world rankings. American Paul, the top seed, beat Belgium David Goffin 6-4, 6-2. Murray is seeking the first title since 2019 as he gears up to make what would be his only second French Open appearance in 6 years when the Grand Slam starts on the 28th of May. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life ekේ change eකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth eකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Emirates has pledged its renewed support to promoting tourism in Sri Lanka through a memorandum of understanding signed with Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau. The agreement outlines a host of initiatives designed to promote the nation's tourism and trade industries and comes as a part of the airline's long-standing commitment to Sri Lanka spanning for 37 years, signaling the deepening of a strategic cooperation between Emirates and Sri Lanka Tourism forged in the year 2022. The new MOU details joint initiatives and opportunities for collaboration that will enhance each party's marketing and promotional efforts to attract travelers to Sri Lanka. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life ekේ change eකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth eකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, the Asian Development Bank will continue to maintain a close cooperation with the IMF, World Bank and other partners with regard to Sri Lanka. ADB President Masatsugu Asakawa said his team in Sri Lanka is intensifying its support to the government's reform agenda, including renewable energy and preparing a budgetary support program by coordinating with the IMF in preparing a special policy-based loan up to $350 million. That is economic news and the weather report to conclude.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather report.
Finally, the weather report. The Department of Meteorology says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and northern provinces and in the Galle, Mathura, Kandy and Nuwara Eliya districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the eastern and Nuwara provinces during the afternoon or night. Strong winds about 40 to 50 km per hour can be expected at times over the western and southern coastal areas in the western slopes of the Central Hills. That was the weather report, and before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. The International Buddhist Convention of the European countries will begin in Austria on Friday. The evaluation of the GC Advanced Level Answer scripts to be expedited from tomorrow. The Disaster Management Center says at least 9,000 individuals in 11 districts have been affected due to the adverse weather. Today is the 6th day of the National Vesak Week. The Parliament will meet from the 9th to the 11th of May. In news overseas, Charles and Camilla crowned in historic coronation celebrations. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.